Hello guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. We're also going to talk about Ethereum. We're going to talk about the dollar. We're going to talk about gold and all of that good stuff. So if you're new to our content, make sure to hit the likes. Make sure to basically subscribe to the channel. Join our public Telegram group. Link in the description. If you're looking to join Send Premium, basically just send me a message. All right, so guys, we're going to talk about BTC today. As you know, it is going to be a Saturday night live, just like we did a few months back in like August, September and all of that good stuff. Basically it is November 1st, right? Just like August 1st, we basically had a big dump on August 1st. Basically September 1st, right? October 1st, I think we got a slight dump, but so I'm expecting like a big move like a November 1st, right? Just like the previous month and so on. BTC is moving sideways over the last few hours and so on. So we're gonna take a look at BTC. Ethereum looking pretty shaky. Excuse me. So Ethereum looking pretty shaky, not looking that great, right? If you take a look at Ethereum, we're still looking for Ethereum to break the yellow trend line. As you can see, that's our basically short setup in our premium, and we're looking for a rejection just about like up to basically a 405 to 411 and so on. We're going to talk about all of that good stuff. All right, guys. So let's go back to the let's do this. Let's go back to BTC. BTC is basically moving sideways over the last few hours. If you take a look at it, that's the 8-hour candle. As you can see, 8-hour candle is not looking that, it's not bad at all. It's just like the MACD just failed to cross bullish, which is like not very good for the bulls, because they need the MACD to cross bullish to be confident like price can keep going to the upside without no problem, and bears most likely gonna step out and step back and basically let the bulls take control. But as long as we staying above the 8-hour 21 EMA, or basically the 6-hour 21 EMA, whichever you're comfortable with, we're most likely not going to see a drop. So we got to be able to basically see a drop below this level to see if the bear is going to be able to drop the price below basically 13.5. It is moving in a channel, which is not bad at all, right? If you're bullish, you could look for a support just about like 13,350. If you're bearish, you want to wait for price to basically break 13,350 with a very big candle, big volume, and basically you can try to basically look for lower numbers, as 12 to basically a 12k area could be a very good support right there. Okay, if the sell-off is not big enough, right, most likely bulls gonna be trying to defend the 6-hour 100 EMA or the 8-hour 100 EMA just about this level of 12.1 to 12.2. So keep that in mind, guys. So if you're new to our content, make sure to hit the likes, make sure to basically subscribe to the channel, and basically join our public Telegram group. Hey, what's up, Buzz in the house? Peter Ting in the house. Yep, Iceman, it is Saturday Night Live, so we basically could be, we could see a big dump, right, on BTC, on BTC, or we could also see a very big pump if basically bears do not defend the 14k area. All right, so let's take a look at BTC on the 2-day chart, right? When I take a look at the 2-day chart, as we said, we're gonna start off with the 3-day, right? We did say something very important, right, last time. One of the reasons why I did not try to short BTC, as you know, I love to short BTC, right? But you can see, like, let me do something really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. I think it might be too big, right? So trying to do it like that. just trying to move the chat room so it won't be all over the screen, right? So let me know if the chat is looking good, so it won't be all over the screen. All right. Hey, what's up, HR? Iceman, 16K. Let's see, okay? Let's see if we're gonna get to a 16K, because so when we take a look at the 3-day chart, right? We said MACD basically moving in a nice channel, right? You can see like if like bulls gonna be basically retesting the trend line, that's going to be very bullish on the 3-day chart, right? So based on 3-day chart, market is still bullish, right? Because we're gonna have to wait to see if we're gonna get a crossover right there. If we get a crossover on the on the 3-day or 2-day chart, even on the 2-day chart, we could basically say, hey guys, on the high time frame, we're most likely going to see price to a slowdown somewhere around here. Probably, look for support just about the 21 EMA, which is like right there, which is currently at 12.1, 12.2. So it is something that we just got to keep in mind. On a 2-day and 3-day basis, market is still bullish, right? We don't have any sign of rejection yet. On the lower degree, we're waiting for price to break the 8-hour 21 EMA in order to basically, be confident like we could be dropping lower. But as of now, bulls still in control. And we're going to move on to the basically weekly time frame. You take a look at the weekly time frame, it is already looking very bullish. That's the second week we basically pumping above like 12K. That is very, very bullish. So we're going to need to basically see some sort of rejection. Not sure if like we're going to be able to close like below 12.8, right, this week within the next 24 hours and so on. If that's the case, we're most likely going to see like a further rejection. Okay, we're most likely going to see like BTC retracing down to the weekly, weekly 21 EMA, which is just about now like 11K and so on. So if you basically looking to trade the weekly time frame, keep an eye on the weekly close, right? Closing below 13K to like a 12.8 might not be the best scenario for the bulls, but it could be a very, very good, a very good scenario for the bears, because most likely they're going to be very, very excited to basically short any pump back up to like a 14K and so on. They might not try to long it. They just, they're going to flip short and then basically look for, for the number to the downside. So basically, once again, weekly close, we do not want to see a weekly close below 13K. Okay, regardless of what, what we're going to get, let's try to basically keep the price above 13.3 and so on, right? That way we could be saying like we're going to see like a further number to the upside within the next few weeks. All right, let's take a look at the monthly basis. So monthly already starting red is nothing. Okay, it is okay. So if you only trade BTC based on the monthly time frame, you don't have much to worry about. Okay, basically until we break like 12K, until we break 10K, you should not worry. Okay, it should be like buy the dip type of stuff, right? Even if we retrace all the way down to basically 10.8, you should still be buying the dip, right? Expecting like market to reverse back up. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it is going to be very bad. We could get like a very bad like monthly tweezer. That's really bad. But until we break 10K on a monthly basis, we do not have any. We won't have any reversal sign, right? Even if we break like 10.8 and so on, get a monthly tweezer, price can still pump back up 50% to 0.618. On the lower degree, it's gonna look different, but on the monthly time frame, that's the only thing you're gonna see. That's the only thing you're gonna see like this week to the upside, right? That's these weeks are just like 50% to 60%, right? To basically 78% pullback. That's why you basically seeing these big wicks to the upside. So it all depends on what time frame you want to be playing with BTC. If you're playing BTC on the hourly basis, it is different, right? If you're playing BTC on a monthly basis, it is totally different. So you just have to basically see how you basically want to play it, right? But the monthly close extremely bullish, but it is at resistance. It is very challenging right now, you know, to be long in BTC right now. Can you buy spot? Yes, right? Because if you buy spot, what you have to do is just send it to the ledger and expect, like, you know, within the next few months, few years, and so on, price gonna be, you know, gonna break anyway 14K. But if you're leveraging, it is not easy. Okay, it is not easy to be taking a long position right now, right? Just hodl. That's the best possible scenario right now until you basically get a, you know, a big breakout, and then you're gonna be like, okay, you know, we basically just broke the you know, resistance area, so we could be looking for, you know, further number to the upside, right? 100x at 16K, lottery ticket. Yeah, Saturday Night Live. Hey, what's up, Tyler? So keep an eye on basically monthly. November going to be very crucial, guys. The overall market is still bullish once again, guys. Even though, you know, I'm a bear, right? But the market is bullish. Okay, so no need to basically try to short it right now, right? The overall structure is still bullish. Even though we had resistance, you just have to wait for confirmation to be able to flip to a short, right? And I already showed you on the 8-hour basis what we need to see on the 8-hour basis, right, in order to start like looking you know, start to look to the downside, right? So now let's take a look at the 50-day chart. So the 50-day chart, it is one of the most important candle for BTC. The last 50 days of each year, right? It is most of the time the most volatile candle, right? So I showed you before, like back in 2017, as you can see, the 50-day candle, as soon as we, you know, open like just about like October 28th, we pump all the way up to like December 16th, right? You can see, like, you know, 2018 we capitulated October 28th, right, all the way down to December, you know, December 16th, right? Same thing, the 40% pump, as soon as we opened the you know, the 50-day candle, we also capitulated down all the way down to 64, right? So now we basically open a new candle right around like, you know, 13K, right? But are we going to be pumping, or are we basically going to be dropping? Okay, the move is not going to be like a 5% move, 10% move, and all of that good stuff. You know, you can see, like, in general, if we're gonna pump, you're looking for like 250% pump, right? Last time, back in 2017, back in 2018, we got, you know, 50% dump, excuse me, and last year we got like 40, nearly like 30% dump. Okay, so what type of dump we're gonna get, right? We already know the you know, the 50-day, you know, the 50-day 21 EMA. I already talked about it. We haven't closed below it like more than 2 candles. What does it mean? It means like even if we dip down below the 50-day 21 EMA, it is going to be a great opportunity to buy, right? Because back in 2017, right, back in 2015, we open and close below it like for over like 150 days, right? 3 days, no, actually 2 days, right? 2 candles, not days, but 2 candles, right? We open and close below it only like for 100 days. After that, we just pumped back to the 21 EMA, got rejected, came back down, and then bang. So this time we only like close, we haven't even like open and close below it, red, not yet. Okay, so if we basically break below the 21 EMA, we just have to basically suck it up, right, and not try to be bearish anywhere around this area. I said it, if we drop below like a 3K and so on, it is going to be a great opportunity, guys, to buy. It doesn't matter, it could last forever to get another reversal, right here, right? But it is going to be a great buy. It is going to be a great buy opportunity, right? So let's keep that in mind. But as of now, let's not try to focus on the downside. Since like overall market is extremely bullish, we don't have any resistance, you know, above this range. Okay, we don't have any resistance, right, above like, you know, above like 13K. So it is extremely you know, it is extremely hard to be to try to short the market right now when we already got a candle closing above you know, 10.5, you know, a 50-day candle closing above 10.5. That's the first one since like 2017. Okay, that's the first green candle above this range of basically, you know, 10.5 level. So let's just keep that in mind, guys. Not easy to be a bull now. I mean, best thing to do is just huddle, right? Because I would say like it is 65 to 70% bullish, right? Because the 50-day candle closed above 10.5. We said it, you know, we talked about it like a few weeks back. We needed the 50-day candle to close below 10.5, but it did close above 10.5. So, and we also got the 2-day 21 EMA. Basically, price is above the 2-day 21 EMA. The 2-day MACD still bullish. So we just need basically the 8-hour to trigger some bearishness. That's the best sign of bearishness we can get right now. The 8-hour to trigger some bearishness, and we're basically going to start to look bearish slightly. But as of now, even though we got like 16 hours of sideways correction, the volume is very low. Price is, you know, declining slowly. So that's not that bullish. Okay, I mean, it is not that bearish. Sorry, it is not that bearish. Low volume, you know, slightly declining price, right? It's not that bad. Okay, it is just like buy the dip type of stuff, right? So, but I'm not going to long this sucker, right? So even though it is bullish, because Alt, guys, we're going to talk about Alt, why I'm not long in BTC, right? So let's take a look at it. In this range, we got this move also very, very popular. It is a very, very popular BTC structure. When BTC moves like this, right? So when we get this type of structure like that, right? That's not, on the lower degree, it is not that strong. Okay, even though it is pushing to the upside, all the bigger time frame calling for higher numbers and all of that good stuff. The lower degree, if we break this 8-hour 21 EMA, 6-hour 21 EMA, the bulls could be in trouble if they do not regain control over the next few days and so on. They, like I said, guys, we got to be able to stay above like a 12.2, you know, and basically on a monthly basis, we got to be able to stay above 11. So they got a lot of you know, support area to be you know, to hold in order to stay bullish, right? So, but I don't like this structure at all, right? That's the same structure we got right there. Even though we long it right here, right? We long it from 10.5 all the way up to basically 12.1, right? But this time, I'm not comfortable basically long in BTC right now. Okay, right now. So let's see what we're gonna get. Okay, I would just huddle. So we also got another structure right there. You can see move like that, drop down, and we got another one right there back in like August 1st, right? No, that was May. Okay, first week of May. We got another structure right here. Okay, we still dump to the downside. And that's a dump we got back in, you know, August 1st right there. Okay, so let's just be cautious. And we got the September dump also right there. We must push to the upside, dump right back down. Okay, so that's the move we could be expecting if and only if we break the 21 EMA. We could be expecting a dump down to like a low 12k area, right? Low 12k area. So excuse me, you guys cannot see. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and take a look at basically Ethereum next. So Ethereum is basically not looking that strong, even though BTC is still pushing to the upside, right? Ethereum is not that strong as of now. Okay, take a look at the 8-hour, looking to cross bullish, but it is about to fail, and I don't like when MACD give us this sharp decline like this. Most of the time it is a very, very aggressive move to the downside, right? So just be cautious. You know, I'm bearish on Ethereum until we basically break above like this range of like a 14, not 14, but 413 and 414 and so on. We could be looking to see like if Ethereum can break above basically 430 and so on. But as of now, the likelihood of Ethereum dropping is very high. So let's see if bulls gonna be able to basically keep support right there, keep the support area very, very strong, and we could be looking for further number to the upside. But as of now, if we break this area of 378, right, all the way down to like 368, it could be game time. Okay, could be game time for the bears. But just be cautious. Once again, if you shorten it, put a stop loss, just about like 411, 413, right? Because if we break it, we could be seeing higher numbers to the upside. Because I'm gonna be bullish if price basically find a very, very strong support, break it, drop back down, retest it. We could be looking for 0.786 to 0.618, right there. We could be looking for up to basically 465, which is like 0.888. We talked about it before, right? When we long Ethereum from like 388 to 395, took some profit, just about like 417 and 420. It dropped back down. We said, guys, let's just wait, right? And basically that pushed me like to basically close my link position, because Ethereum dropped back down. So I was like, let's just get out of link, because link we were already like over 10% above our entry. So we just decided to take our profits, right? So Ethereum, we need to basically break this support line all the way down to basically 369, something like that, right? 369, and we could be looking for lower numbers, right? So at the same time, sometimes when you get a wedge pattern, you don't pay attention to your Fibonacci's, right? But it is very good to pay attention to it, because you can see like Ethereum bulls, they did not break the 382. So next level to look for, roughly it is like 362, which is like one of our target. And at the same time, we got another target at 350 and all the way down to like a 333. So we just need to break like below like a 374, 368, and then it could be game on, right? We could be looking for a lower number, right? But as of now, be very cautious, right? If you're looking to add more position, wait till we break that, support area of 374, 368, right? So let's take a look at Ethereum on Poloniex. Yep, that's Poloniex, but let's take a look at it on the macro scale. So Ethereum weekly time frame. We're also going to take a look at ETHBTC. So when you take a look at ETH on the macro scale, right, you can see like we talked about it before regarding ETH breaking weekly 25 MA, which is like the purple line. Right now, the weekly 25 MA, it is the same price as the weekly 21 EMA. So as long as Ethereum is above the weekly 25 MA, right, it is most of the time very bullish. But however, if we break it, right, if we break the weekly 25 MA, which is right now, we can remove it because it is the same thing as the weekly 21 EMA, we could be seeing like further number to the downside. All right, so if we back test it, you can see like when Ethereum was right there back in 2018, right, 2017, 2018, you can see that after we broke the weekly 25 MA, we pumped back up. May 2018 got rejected. Okay, just like the rest of the crypto, they got rejected. Right there, as soon as we pump above it, like March 2019, right, we pump right back up to basically 360 and so on, right? Dump right there, we cross below it, dump right there. As soon as we cross above it, like 160, because I remember we were shorting Ether like 160, right, to 168, right? And I was like, okay, if we break this key level of 178, we're gonna basically take a long. So we took a long right there, okay, get out our short, okay, and then basically took a long all the way up to basically 270. So right now you can see like we're still trading above it, so it is still bullish. Even when Ether was like 167 this year, I was like, if we pump above it, we're gonna be bullish, because I had a target of like a 300 to 350, but you can see like this sucker pump all the way up to like almost 500. So let's see the drop I'm looking for. It is like a drop all the way down to 330. Let's see if we're going to be able to break 330. If you're a bear, if we break 330, that's going to be great. If you're bullish, right, if we find a support at 330, you just know we might be getting another reversal, and most likely the bull's going to do everything they can to basically break 500. So it is going to be very, very crucial. Whether you're bullish or bearish, you got to be able to watch 330. That's going to be the next key area. We got to be able to basically fight to break, or basically fight to basically hold very strong, right? And if you take a look at it on the weekly basis at the same time, 330 is right there, just about. Okay, on a 7-day basis, we haven't broke basically 335. You see, on a 7-day basis, right? On the weekly, it might look funny, but on a 7 days basis, right, which is the same thing as the weekly, but instead of basically Sunday being the first, being Sunday, Monday being like the first day, you got like Wednesday being the first day, because the first day of the year was Wednesday, right? So you can see like we did not close below it. So, and we had the same setup right there when I was like, if we close above like 240, 245, right? But I was watching the weekly, right? I wasn't watching the 7-day chart. But as you can see on the 7-day chart, right, we did close above it, but on the weekly we did not. Okay, we did not close above it right there. So, and I was like waiting, and this sucker, like the weekly candle just pumped to the upside, like on a Saturday night, stuff like that. So it is sometimes good to switch time frame, right, to basically get a better get an edge, right? At least be able to see the market differently, right? But let's see if we cross below basically 340, guys, 330, it is going to be game on. It's going to be game on and game over for the bulls. So guys, let me know if you're bullish, right? If you're looking for 16K, 20K this year. I haven't been watching any YouTube channels, so I really don't know, right? So what people are basically saying. All I've been doing is just basically been focusing on my premium group. We actually got a setup for, let's go ahead and take a look at our setup for Zilliqa. Okay. Take a look at the 2-day chart. So Zilliqa, we did say we're gonna be shorting as soon as we close, as soon as we basically start trading below the below 17.9. We did, let me change this to a lighter color. Okay, so we did basically break a 17.9, and we took a short price dip all the way down to like 1660 and pump back up, right? So now, even though I don't use the 25 MA, you can see like it was a very strong support, and now we just broke it, pump back up, retest it. Now we're looking to basically dip back down. So I think bear is going to be very strong if we can close like just about like 1660 and so on, even down to like 1700. If we can close below 17.5, that's going to be very 1705. It is going to be very, very very bearish, at least within the next like a few days and so on. But however, even though I'm bearish, right, on Zilliqa, because the chart is bearish, it is a bearish pattern, it is a descending triangle pattern formation, right? If we break out, right, and pump above like 1950, we could be pumping to the upside to the next resistance right there, right? So it is something that you got to be able to keep in mind. Even though, you know, I'm bearish, keep in mind, if you're bullish, you don't need to do anything, right? You don't need to do anything, because we could possibly break the, you know, the resistance area, and you're going to be looking for to take your profit right there. However, if you're already bearish right now, you don't need to do anything neither. You just have to put your stop loss just about like 1950. So it is a very juicy trade, but my personal bias and based on the structure, I'm gonna go with the bear on this trade and put a stop loss right there in 1950, right, and look for basically, you know, 12 to 13 area. So which is a 25% move roughly, right? That's a pretty juicy move, right? Looking for 17.9 all the way down to basically 13. That's 27% move. So very, very juicy, very juicy, very juicy, man. So let's see if we're gonna get this trade, right? So next trade I was watching was Wi-Fi, right? I was trading Wi-Fi last night very hard, right? And the sucker is pretty volatile. It was fun though, but can give you a headache. So Wi-Fi, that's the setup we got in our premium, right? So last night, I just don't have time to basically show you what type of how to anticipate these structures sometime, right? But you know, I'm looking for this range, like this red line right there. It is 0.618, so it is holding very strong right now. Even though it is dropping, it is still bullish because volume is not there, right? So it can pop right back up at any given time, right? But I'm already short, right? So we got rejected from the 1 hour 100 EMA. I don't know why this 25 EMA is popping out. We just do the 1 hour 21 EMA. So we say if we get rejected right there, if you're short at the 1 hour 21 EMA, just put a stop loss above it, and then look for basically 1172 to 1135, which is like a complete double bottom, right? And you could look to flip long, right, at 1172 to 1135 to the basically to this trend line to take profit, or we can even get a complete flat correction. We can basically probably, all right, we could look for a rejection right here, drop down, and then get the complete flat correction before basically dumping lower. That's very possible. So I'm looking for this trade. It is a very profitable trade. Either way you look at it, you might not even have to take a position right now. You can look for a long position right here, right? If we get a very strong support right there, we most likely, you know, gonna pump back up to the resistance line, right? And if we get a very strong, you know, powerful buy orders right here, after we get rejected, we can pump back up. So you got multiple trades to take in this setup, right? Short right here, long right here, take profit, wait for, you know, confirmation, take another position, either take it to the upside. If we get rejected, you know, we're gonna be dumping, right? So it is a very juicy trade. It could last for 2 to 3 days. Just have to basically keep monitoring it and see at what position we at, right? But it is a very juicy, very good trade. Every channel saying, oh, you want 1800 BTC. Every channel is saying 20K. So it's not easy, man. That's why I don't watch any of these channels, because you know, it sometimes can mess up your analysis, and you could be you could become very bullish. I will remember last year when I watched CCU, right, Crypto Crew University, whatever, and as soon as I watched him, I was very bullish, man. Like, that guy is very good at making you bullish, right? So and I was like, man, I cannot keep watching this guy, because that's the first time I'm watching him. I know if I watch him again, I'm gonna be a moon boy. So, and I'll stop I'll stop watching. So, but I'm not saying he's not a good analyst. I'm only saying, like, he's very good at giving you like a lot of information about like being bullish, right? So that's what I'm saying. So let's keep that in mind, guys. Wi-Fi is going to be really good, a really good trade. So next coin we're going to basically talk about, it is going to be VeChain. So I'm going to give you vision on a bigger picture, not on the lower degree. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I was the only guy right now, I mean back then, right, saying do not buy Zilliqa. I mean not Zilliqa. Yes, Zilliqa also, right? Zilliqa and VChain at 200, 230 and so on. Because, you know, 230 was like our take profit. And I remember most people been saying, oh, we're going to go to the moon, 100x, 200x, 700x, and all of that good stuff, guys. What I told you guys, we're going to drop more than 60 to 80%, right? Versus BTC, right? Take a look at it. We already dropped 70% and we're not even done yet. We're not even done yet, okay? We're not even done yet, right? So we could possibly get a support area right there. We could possibly get a support, bounce back up, get rejected again from the 1 hour or 21 EMA, whichever, you know, whichever one going to be very, very strong. We're most likely going to get another rejection, right? So let's see within the next few weeks what type of a structure we're going to get. But VChain is not a buy right now. Can you accumulate it over the next few months, few weeks? Yes, but I wouldn't be buying, right, for reversal. I'm just gonna be accumulating like this, right, and look for some high lows and probably pump to the upside again, right? Stuff like that. But I wouldn't be too bullish on it, right? Let's take a look at Zilliqa also. So Zilliqa, same thing, right? In my premium, we already got our Zilliqa set up. When Zilliqa pumped right there, I was like, Zilliqa was just about like 160, 170. I was like, let's basically, you know, if you holding Zilliqa, make sure to basically take your last bag, you know, sell your last bag just about like 200 to 194, because we got another dip down here. Okay, so that's the next level to be looking for. Zilliqa, just about like 105 to 81. That's going to be the soft buy area, and the strong buy area going to be just about like 45 to 60, right? So if we break that level, it's no more buying. It's no more buying. It is just going to be like huddling, right? So let's move on to NEO, right? So I showed you guys NEO, regarding NEO being a very bearish, and you can see like the same level we were back in, you know, 2 years ago, right? August, September, October 2018, right? That's the same level we at right now. That's the same exact level we at right now. And guess what? After we broke it, we broke this red line, right? This red area. What we did, okay? We capitulated down 65%. 65%. I'm not saying we're gonna do it, right? But all I'm saying is we could get a very good chance to buy NEO all the way down to like a $5. Okay, if the drop going to be very strong, be ready. Okay, don't be surprised. Be ready for a drop to like a, you know, $5.50. Okay, buy area $5.50 and so on, right? Can we reverse back up? Absolutely we can, but we got to be able to build a very strong base somewhere around here, right, through A2, start making some high, you know, high lows, and then we could be looking for another reverse, at least try to retest like a 21, 22 and so on, right? But as of now, no sign of reversal, at least on a 2-day basis, 3-day basis. It's not looking that great. Okay, it's not looking that great so far. So I would give it like a few more days or weeks to basically start like, you know, to start like you know, to start seeing like some bullish momentum, and we could possibly look for another buy area for NEO. But as of now, guys, once again, next level to look for, it is just going to be $12.50. You do not want to break $12.50. If we break it, it is going to look very bad. It is going to look very bad, guys. Very bad. So we talked about NEO. Let's move on to a link now. So link structure, it is in my premium setup, right? So link, we said we're going to be looking for take profit area just about this you know, 8.5 to just about like 7.5. 8.5 to 7.5, right? And what are we looking for? We're looking for a break below let's do this. Whoa, not you. All right, so that's a very ugly color, but we're looking for a break below like a 10.6 to 10.5, right? And we could be looking for a short all the way down to like 8.5 to, you know, basically a 7.5. The bullish side is like, if you bullish on Link, you also got a great chance to basically buy it if we break above like 11.5 to 11.6, right? And we could be looking for 13.5, right? And after 13.5, if price decide to break out above 13.5, we could be going all the way up to 17, okay? 16.5 to 17 and so on. So the bullish setup is also very juicy. It is a 23% pump from like a 13.5, right? Or we could get a 23% dump, you know, below like 10.5, 10.6. Okay, so all you need to do is just wait for the breakout. Okay, wait for the breakout. Can it be a fake out? Absolutely. So you got to be able to put a stop loss, right? Stop loss we could be looking for if we break below 10.5, 10.6. It is like the, you know, the previous resistance, which is just about this level of 11.5 to 11.6, right? And if you long it right there from 11.5 to 11.6, you just have to flip your stop loss just about like 10.5, okay? 10.5 to 10.4 area. So it is pretty easy. Market gonna move. You just have to be ready for both sides. Because if you just bearish, right, and we pump to 11.5, you might still be try to short it, and you might not be ready for 13.5. You might be shorting it at 11.5, and this sucker could pump all the way up to 16. You see what I'm saying? So just make sure to have a stop loss and be ready, right? And you know, be ready for both scenarios. Yes, we're gonna take a look at ETHBTC. ETHBTC is basically capitulating. I just don't like that. So ETHBTC is not looking that great, right? Right now we're breaking like 382, which is just about like 28, right? And we got 25 next support and 23 after that, right? So let's see. It is not good to be basically flipping to ETH too early, right? Because sometimes you can basically flip like on your ledger, okay? You can basically dump your ETH into BTC directly from your ledger, so you don't have to basically send it to Coinbase and all of that good stuff, right? So, but it is not a good time to basically flip from BTC to Ethereum. I would rather let Ethereum at least basically, guys, retest like, you know, 50% pullback, right? Or at least if you're very confident, not confident, right? You wait for 0.618, which is like 22.8 and something like that, right? 0.0228. So let's keep that in mind. So next support basically 25, and after that 23. So, but you know, we got a nice head and shoulder pattern formation right there. Was an ugly one, but you guys can notice it, right? You got 1, 1, and 1, okay? And then we broke out a 1-to-1 extension to the downside. You see, it's gonna take you right at 0.618. So 0.618, it is safer, but 50% is more aggressive, right? So it all depends how you want to play it. Just play safe, right? Either way, if you're just switching from BTC to Ether, it's not a big deal. But if you're just leveraging it and stuff like that, you just have to be very cautious, right? So let's move on to DOT. So So DOT guys, we talked about it last time when DOT was like, I think it was like 20 or so, when DOT was 4.6, right? So I got a bigger target for DOT, just like the target of for QDOM when QDOM was at support area right there. So DOT, we're looking for a drop all the way down to 3.3, but we most likely going to get a temporary support just about 3.6. So we broke the trend line right there. We broke the trend line, so pumping back up and looking for this move down to, to find another support just about like 3.6. So look for support at 3.6. After that, we could make a small flat correction and basically continue the downtrend to like a 3.3. So the bullish side, I don't see much of a bullish side for DOT, but we got to be able to break like 4.5 for me to be bullish. Like start like a trading above 4.5, right? So but the bearish setup is more probable right now, so I would just basically focus on it, right? So if you break, if like we get a breakout, you just put your stop loss just about like a 4.4. If we get a breakout, you just leave it. It's most likely gonna come back down later on, and then you can re-enter later, right? So let's take a look at compound. So I think I'll talk about compound. Let's see. I think somebody asked me last time when compound was like, I think like 101, stuff like that, right? So I was like, look for 6 hour 100 EMA just about like 114. It got rejected just about like 120. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at it on. And take a look at it on a lower degree. So compound, we got a short running on compound, right? It is kind of aggressive, so not that aggressive. We already got a flat correction, which is right there, 1 2 3. So I'm expecting a move to the downside, right? And the move I'm expecting, it is just about 1.41 to 1.27 extension to the downside, which is like 83 to 81. So let's see if the bulls gonna be gonna be weak enough, right? But some people might be looking at it differently. They might be drawing like a possible triangular formation, right? Just like that, and they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna be pumping to the upside and stuff like that, right? So let's keep that in mind. It all depends on what you're seeing and how you basically want to play it. But as of now, I see a flat correction, double top, double bottom. Could we could get a tough time right there, right here before doing this. But best thing is like to short before we basically retest like the support area just about like 89. So if you enter like 91, 92. It is okay. Even if we drop down to 89, pump back up to 90, you're still going to be okay, right? Because we could get a possible tough time to break this area. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I basically took it too early. So compound. Let's go ahead and take a look at ADA next. So ADA higher time frame is actually broke the wedge pattern. That's the type of a breakout I'm looking for from Link. Same type of a wedge pattern, broke it just like XLM. XLM is also looking to break the wedge pattern. I got a setup for, just haven't sent it to in my premium, but we were looking to we were basically shorting XLM just about like 85, but the suckers hit our stop loss just by 87 and basically dumped down to our target of 73 to 76. So sometimes when you have a very tight stop loss, sometimes it can get hit very easily. So it is something you gotta be able to keep in mind, right? So XLM, ADA, I'm looking for it to drop lower. We got 382 pullback, just about like 66.85. So we got 66.85, right, which is another 30% drop, 382, and after that we're gonna, we're looking for like, we're gonna look for a possible retracement down to like 50%, right? But let's see, 382 could be a good support enough to basically reverse the price, right? It could be good enough to reverse the price, but we're just gonna have to wait and see till we basically retest it, right? In order to be confident, we could be reversing. But as of now, the pattern is basically looking for further move to the downside, right? And then we're gonna take a look at it in that range. So ADA BTC, I was looking for 800 to 900 support. As you can see, like when ADA was like 1300 to 1350, which was our target when ADA was like right there. Okay, we said exactly right, buy right here, right? ADA first target was like 1100, and after we broke 1100, we said look for 1300 to 1350. Right now, it is not time to be buying. If you already bought at 800 to 900, it is time to be waiting till we basically retest like 400, which is another basically, almost 30% drop versus BTC before we can basically look for a possible, retracement. But it is not a buy right now, okay? Can it pump right back up? You can't control that. It can, but you cannot control it. You just have to wait till we basically get a nice, round bottom, nice bottom formation, and we could start to look for further move to the upside, right? So let's go ahead, and we're gonna do it by alphabetical order right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at algo. Algo is in our premium target, right? The trade is still in play. So as long as we broke this area, I said cleanly algo next target 2133, guys. So it is still in play. So most people, they cannot wait for like a 2 to 3 days for price to hit their target. Sometimes they just want price to hit their target like on an hourly basis, stuff like that, and that's scalping, right? But sometimes these trades, they can take like 5, 7, 10 days to move like 10 to 15%, right? So it is something like you got to be able to keep in mind. So algo, we're looking for this 18% move. We still haven't got it yet, right? But we most likely gonna get it all the way down to basically 2133, right? It is a nice 18% drop from basically 25.26. So algo BTC already breaking a support area, which is very, very bearish, right? Not looking that great. So we just have to wait till we basically move sideways, right? And price has to pump above the 21 EMA on a 3-day basis, so we can start to look bullish. But as of now, algo BTC is not a buy. Okay, it is not a buy right now. We're breaking basically, our previous entry was like 25 right there. So, and we pump it all the way up to 6,000. Yeah, I will take a look at the link again for you. So let's take a look at Atom, because Atom, we basically shorted Atom, right? In our premium, when it was like low $5, 5.1, 5.2, we said, guys, we're gonna take Atom. Basically, we took it from just about like 5.2, 5.1, and took it all the way down to 4.6. It even dropped down to like, 4.3. That's a nice 15% drop. And we could possibly get a flat correction right here. So we could get something like this before moving further down, right? So let's keep that in mind. If you're shorting it right now and we drop down to like 4.3, you got to be able to put a stop loss. Okay, put a stop loss at entry right there. So, but it looks pretty bearish. Okay, just like XLM and ADA. For the macro view, if you're looking for a further retracement down, right? We already retested 382, right? Which is $4, most likely we're going to retest it again. So next level to look for, it is going to be 0.618, which is like 237. That's a longer, you know, a better buy entry at, you know, 237, 235 area. Okay. So however, this sucker can capitulate all the way down to basically $1.60. So you just gotta be careful, right? You just gotta be careful. But you already took a nice position right there. I'm gonna look to basically, you know, look for another entry, and we could be, you know, basically just holding it for the next few weeks and so on, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at band. So band, you know, Satoshi was basically shorting band. I think Satoshi, right, in our premium when band was like, since like band was like 5.7, I know it was giving him like a hard time, 5.7, 5.2 and so on, but I was like, just be cautious, right? Just keep it tight and sit tight, relax. Okay, next target is going to be 4.3, and we hit 4.3 exactly. So sometimes you got to be very, very patient, and if not, market gonna drive you crazy, right? So if we break this key area, we're most likely going to be dipping lower. Most likely going to be dipping lower, and we got target already, not target, but we got support at 3.26. Okay, no sign of reversal yet. No sign of reversal. Let's take a look at 3-day. We got the 3-day 100 EMA just about right now supporting the price as we talked about it previously, right? So we got 382 just about like 382 at 324, right? So keep that in mind. We got 382 pullback, you know, just about like, you know, 382. So, and 0.618 going to be just about like $1, right? So it has a long way to go. So basic attention, I think Carlito in our premium was looking to long, not looking to long, but was looking for a possible bullish setup on basic attention, right? And I was like, be cautious, because basic attention, if we do not trade above the 21 EMA, I'm not going to be bullish, right? And if we break it, we're going to be looking for like 18, and 17 was like the bottom of the channel, which is like right there, and we hit it exactly. And you know, that time basic attention was like 22. Take a look at it. It is a nice 20% dump. Okay, but you got to be able to wait a week to get that, right? So if you just want to get 20% in one day, you're not going to get it. You're not going to be, it's not going to be that juicy. So you got to be able to wait for 7-10 days for price action to basically move sideways. Because basically the entire structure right there, it is corrective. Okay, it is a very, very corrective. We could get the impulse move down once we break the channel, right? So, but it is still bearish, no sign of reversal yet, right? So next target area to look for, it is going to be 0.786, which is just about like 15 cents, right? Already broke 0.618, and 0.888 going to be just about like 12 cents. Okay, and most likely going to drop much lower than that if BTC drop 5-10%, right? Keep that in mind. So basically all I'm saying is like reversal, reversal, reversal. Okay, not to the upside but to the downside. Just I would wait till like December, January or February to start like accumulating alt, but it might be too early right now to be accumulating, right? Might be too early. I could be wrong, but it might be, right? Could be. So let's take a look at Blue Zell. Blue Zell right there, that was our previous setup like back in June and something like that, right? So entry was right there, and this sucker pump all the way up to our target of 1600, and we're most likely going to be retracing down to basically 300 sats. Right now it is just about like 420, so it has at least another 30% drop. So BLZ BTC, BLZ USD, so I said it like a long time ago in my premium, right? I sent it when BLZ was right there, like just about like 11-12, before even we get the pullback. And I was like, we're gonna be looking for this target for BNB, I mean BLZ, right? And you can see like if you're not patient enough, right, you're not gonna get this 50% drop. You're not gonna get it 70% drop. You gotta be able to you know, be very, very patient and pay attention to the macro view, so you can get this big drop. but it is bearish. We're still going to be dropping. The bear is still dropping the price. Next support just about 51, after that 34. Okay, you know what I mean, right? 0.51 and 0.34. So blue zell still very, very bearish, right? Very, very bearish. So let's take a look at BNB. BNB BTC already capitulating on a 3-day basis, breaking the 100 EMA, right? And next support area going to be right there. Right there. That's the next level you want to be, you want to watch, which is like 0.0017. Okay, just basically 17. That's what you need to be watching over the next few days and so on. Does not look good. You could say, you could make an argument it is just a pullback, right? And we're gonna be pushing further to the upside. That's what I was thinking first, but looking at like the entire structure, you know, the entire market and all of that, we're most likely not going to break like this key area, which is like 29 range, right? 29.55, that easy. Okay, we're gonna need like a very big volume. And you take a look at the last buying pressure on a 3-day basis was too low. Okay, was too low right there. Okay, right here. And I showed you whenever you get a drop at the support area and a low buying volume, it means like a continuation. And we got a confirmation right there on the 3-day basis. So let's see if like we're gonna be able to find the support. So if you like patterns, you know we got a possible head and shoulder pattern formation, which is right there, right? Which is right there, right? So, and that's going to be very, very bearish, right? Very, very, very bearish. Got one, and you got one to an extension to the downside. Ooh, doesn't look good. Let's do swing high to swing low to basically neckline. 1 to an extension going to be just about like, you know, 45. Right there. Which is roughly, that's an 80% drop. 80% drop. 80% drop. I just don't know how BNB gonna do it. But let's see, okay, that's what the pattern is saying, right? Not just me, not me. So let's go back to BTC. So if we go back to BTC, if you just join the streaming, BTC, we only say we need to break the 211 EMA on the 8-hour in order to basically be bearish. But as of now, bulls still in control. So all you need just stay tight and wait for a break below, you know, 13,350, and we could be, you know, dropping lower down to like a low 12K, right? So 12K, it is going to be next support area. If we break 12K, we got basically right there, just about like, you know, 11.8, you know, to basically 11.9, which is like 201 EMA on a 2-day basis, which is basically a very, very strong resistance / support. Whenever we break below it, we most likely, you know, facing like low sideways correction and all of that good stuff, right? But let's not try to break it this time. Otherwise, it is going to look very, very bad. We already talked about compound. Let's talk about CRV. I don't take a trade on CRV, but it is one of the most volatile. It is more volatile than Wi-Fi, right? So I was set up for CRV is like when it was right there, just about right there. Okay, it had a nice fractal. Let me just remove everything. The fractal is like this. The same structure we got right here. Let me see if I can find it in my premium group, right? The same structure we got right here, that's the same thing we also got right there. So I noticed it, as soon as I noticed it, right? I sent a signal and I was like, next buy area going to be a a 61 right there, right? 618 extension of the previous move, right? Right there. One-to-one extension going to be right there. Same exact move, one-to-one extension actually, right? Which was like 33 to basically 33 to basically 35. And as you can see, we basically replicated the same move and dropped exactly the same extension. Okay, same extension right there. Same extension right there. Let's do this. Yep, same extension. So we broke this key area and right there. Yep, 120 extension of the previous move. It only means like, you know, let's do this. Yep, 120 extension and basically 50% to 0.618 of the drop also, right? So the drop we got right there after we broke the support area. The drop we got this move right there. Okay, I was looking for 60% of it. Okay, 60% to basically 50% of it, right? Which is right there. And also at the same time, if you just want to look for extension of the previous correction, which is like this correction right there to the bottom, right? You want to look for it, you could do easily like that and get your 1-to-1 extension. It all depends how you want to do it, but it was like spot on. Both moves were basically calling like for 30, 34, 35 and so on, and that's where we basically bottom at and got the 60% pump, right? Got the 60, almost like double. Okay, double in price. So if you did pay attention to it, you probably caught it, because I talk about it in my basically published streaming also before even it dropped, right? So but let's go back. So but as of now, we could be dropping again all the way down to a support, which is like, you know, 34 again, right? On the lower degree, it looks like it is going to be dropping right there. We broke the support line. We broke this. We got a nice parallel channel, breaking it. So I'm looking for support right there. Okay, which is like 38 area. If we break 38, we're gonna basically take it to the downside. It is actually bearish, so I don't see, you know, any bullish sign on it. So could possibly pump back up to like a 42, 43 before dropping right here, make a nice corrective move. If not, we could even look for higher number. If it goes back up right there, I'd be more confident to look for this move. Okay, I'm gonna be more confident of this trade setup, and then just like that, right? But look for a support area either way. If you like to trade it, look for a support right there and a, you know, small correction, right? If it makes like lower lows right there, you're going to be confident it most likely going to be dropping. However, if we make like high lows, right, like this, like that, just let it go. Just let it go. Don't try to stop it. We already talked about DOT. Now EOS macro, EOS BTC is looking very bad, guys. I don't know if I showed you EOS BTC. Let's take a look at EOS BTC before we take a look at Ethereum Classic. So EOS BTC is looking so bad, guys. And please, I don't want EOS to pump 10% tomorrow and you're going to tell me like, oh, EOS is going to the moon. So I talked about this structure a long time ago, guys. I told you, be cautious with EOS. Even though it is making a wedge pattern, Litecoin did the same thing, right? Take a look at it. Same thing, okay? Now we're breaking below it, so I don't see anything bullish on the EOS right now. It is not a buy, EOS BTC. If I had some BTC and I wanted to buy some EOS, I take a look. If I take a look at the chart, I'm just gonna be like, man, I'm just gonna wait, because next support is like October 2017 lows, right? It is a big drop, okay? It is a big drop. So we're breaking the wedge pattern, so not good at all, okay? Just have to be very cautious, because few years back, EOS was supposed to be like the next Ethereum, okay, the Ethereum killer, but this sucker is getting killed right now, right? Getting hammered, right? Getting killed. So let's see if we're gonna be able to find any sideways correction and all of that good stuff, right? And then we could pump after that, right? So, but it looks very bad. That's another 50% dump. So just to go back down to a retest, you know, November 2017 lows. So let's take a look at the Ether Classic. So Ethereum Classic also I'm looking for a drop for Ethereum Classic. We got our correction right there, a drop, we're correcting, and then we're looking for a break below like 5.1 and so on, right? And then we could be dropping all the way down to 3.5, right? So let's keep that in mind. Ether Classic still a drop, so look for support right there, 3.5 to 3.6. We already talked about Ether USD, so let's go ahead and take a look at gold next. So gold bounced back up, which is pretty normal. It is, I mean, I don't think like we're gonna be dropping all the way down to like 1830 without correcting. So it is just a correction, getting rejected from the 8-hour 21 EMA. So let's see if we're gonna be basically continuing the momentum to the downside and basically look for support just about, you know, 1853. We hit like 1859, which is pretty close, right? But we could even dip lower to like 1832. Okay, on average 1840 should be good, you know, if you're looking for, you know, a support level for gold. So, and I already showed you the pattern for gold. It can drop much lower because we already seen it on the dollar, right? So IOTA also not looking that great. Okay, so if you guys watch my previous analysis regarding DOT, when DOT was pumping, I was like, we need to watch, we need to basically pay attention to IOTA because it has the same structure. However, if we break this trend line, we're going to be dropping lower. So if you've been following IOTA, we broke this trend line right there, just about like 2650. That was a short. It is still a short right now. The thing is, you cannot have your stop loss too close because this move can be just like this, right? And then drop down. So it's going to drop down. It could drop down, retest the low, pump back up right there, get rejected by the 6-hour to 8-hour 121 EMA, not 100, and then basically drop down to a basically support area. So keep an eye on IOTA. Still got a possible nice 8% drop. And if we get another reversal right there to like a 26, you could be looking for a nice 10%, 11% down. But stop loss has to be right there. Okay, it is pretty aggressive, right? Just about like, you know, 6%, right? And then you could be looking for it. It is pretty aggressive. The best time to enter was like right there, just about 27. But you just don't know. The price can even drop much lower than our target, because I got a bigger target right there. Okay, a 15 cents IOTA, but not anytime soon, right? Unless we got a big drop. So let's go back to so Kava still dumping. I don't think I have to show you Kava dumping right down to like 0.786 versus BTC, and I already showed you why I basically shorted Kava, because you know BTC pairing was very bearish, so we basically took it to the downside all the way down to like 141. So KNC, we also took a nice short on KNC after we recognized the flat correction right there. Looks good on the daily, right? We got a flat correction, so it is a continuation. After you correct for like a month or so, from like late September to like late October, it's 1 month correction. I don't think we're just gonna drop for like 2 days, right? It could drop like for another month, just like the time it took to correct. It can be moving much like sometimes corrections take a longer time, right? Impulsive waves take a shorter time, but sometimes you could basically be dropping for a month, just like the time you took to correct, right? So but it is not looking very bullish. So if you're basically bullish on KNC, it is not a good time to be buying, right? So, and even if we pump like 10% and all of that good stuff, it might be just a fake out, a dead cat bounce. So I would not be buying it. So Link, let's go back to Link. We got a little fake out on Link. For those of you guys pretty bullish on Link, so you got to be very cautious, guys. Price is moving between 11.3 to basically 11 for the last few hours, like the last, let's say, 24 hours. So if you bullish, like if we pump like to 11.3, you bullish, right? You're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in trouble, right? So be cautious. I know in my premium somebody was looking for to long it, and I was like, just be cautious, man. Follow the trade. No need to basically enter right now and be panicking on every single pump or every single dump. Okay, we got a nice trend line on the lower degree. We could bounce off 10.8 and so on, right? But if we break 10.7, 10.6, you're watching it, bang. Okay, it's gonna be dropping lower probably, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. So Litecoin, pretty much same thing, right? So we got a nice impulsive move right there. So the move we got in this range is pretty impulsive, right? So we could be looking for a correction like this, okay? So before dumping down, so be cautious with Litecoin. If we do not get the correction like that, the move can be impulse all the way back up, okay? It can be impulse all the way back up and basically retest the top. So two possible scenarios for Litecoin is like a flat right there, right? Or a possible big impulsive wave right there, just to basically double top, okay, and then basically dump. So last time we talked about Litecoin, I told you just needed to wait till we basically break this key area, and then you can take the short. Exactly, that's what happened, right? You can say as long as we broke it, we drop a nice 7%. Even though we're pumping back up, do not fall for it. We don't fall for it because you could be looking for a possible head and shoulder, but be cautious, okay? Be cautious, because if we retest like the top, you got to be able to get out. I'm not trading Litecoin, but that's what I see, right? We already talked about Neo. Go also moving in a trend line basis, right? So broke the trend line right there, just about like 3.1, right? So we're looking for just about 255, right? 255 range. We got a bigger I got a bigger target, just about 1.7, but I want to see like what we're gonna get at 2.5, okay, which is like the very next support. if we break 2.5, we could be looking for a very big move. So we got a lot of setups, so a lot to trade right now, so no need to be basically FOMOing on BTC, because you know BTC is not going to move like 10% every day, but you see these alt, they move like 10-15% every single day, right? So ontology getting killed, right? So my next target for ontology just about like 38. As you can see, most of these alt, they're not yet at even like 0.618. Some of them are, but ontology is looking to hit like 0.618, which is like another basically 10%. And we talk about ontology when it was like 51, 52, right? And take a look at it right there, a 26% drop. So look for support right there. Not sure if we're going to be able to find a support, but that's the next price level to look for. If you're a long-term hodler, you just look for the double bottom 0.786 to 0.888, which is like 29 to basically 25 cents. That's a longer term view, probably somewhere around like December or so, right? If it drops low, if it drops slowly. So QDOM, I was being a coward on QDOM. Last time I was like, okay, oh man, I don't want to short this sucker at trend line and all of that good stuff. But it was bearish. So, but we said if we get a breakout, just take it to the downside. We also got another confirmation, right? Which is basically we got a very low volume right there, right, and a very small candle, which is a continuation pattern. Regardless how high we pump, right? Even if we pump back up to like, you know, $2 or even up to like a 2.1, we already got a nice bearish continuation pattern, right? And most likely, even if we pump down, we're still going to be dropping lower to 0.618, which is like $1.50. So next support level for QDOM, after we broke this, you know, support area, which is like $1.50. It is $1.50, right? So RLC, we basically took a nice short on it, right? Did not wait really, right? We started taking it just about like 85. This one I was pretty aggressive, did not wait for support at the trend line. I was like, you know, we're gonna basically take it from 85 and all the way down to like, you know, this range. And after we hit target, I was like, okay, let's take it all the way down to basically 67. We already hit like 70, but we still got some more room to drop. Okay, most likely gonna break the trend line. The only reason basically we stopped right there was like, you know, it was a double bottom. Okay, that's all. So next support level to be looking for, it is roughly right there, just about like 51. That's a bigger target to look for. Right there, 51. So pretty bearish, okay, pretty bearish. So SNX, you guys already know we killed SNX, right? So SNX, I told you even before the breakout, right? We're gonna be dropping, and I showed you guys. Sometimes I talk about this stuff like weeks. I mean, I talk about it weeks before, you know, they happen, right? I said we got a descending triangle just like BTC back in 2018, and what happened? You know, after we broke the descending triangle, we dropped like 50%, right? So I'm not saying we're gonna drop 50%, but the thing is like, market was very bad. It was like a couple of days ago, and I was like, we're gonna be shorting just about this range of 3.3 and all the way down to like 2.9, right? We hit like 2.9, you know, 2.96 on the dot, guys. So we can even drop lower. So if you're still in, you don't need to do anything. Just put a stop loss, because this sucker can drop much lower, right? Much lower. So we got a support, next support just about like 2.3. But let's see how aggressive we're gonna break this area, right? Because we corrected like for almost from September to basically you know, November, so we're not going to basically drop like 10-15%, right? It has to be more than 30-40%. It doesn't have to, but that's what I would expect. Yeah, storage also, we also killed storage, right? Storage, as soon as we broke this trend line, just about like 35.85, I said like, guys, let's just take it, and we're going to take it all the way down to 31 to basically 29. We already hit target 30, right? And I got another target just about 25. So if you're looking for storage, buy area, short entry, stuff like that, we got another 16%, but you got to suck it up, guys. Stop loss, you got to, you know, put it above like 35, right? So if you're basically doing like 100x and all of that good stuff, it might not be a good trade for you, right? So sushi, I love to short sushi, right? Even though I don't eat sushi. So sushi looking to dip lower, right? But I don't like the structure. It is not that bearish yet, right? It can give us this move and that move. So watch out for sushi, right? If we basically break completely, okay, completely below 55, then you can be bearish. But as of now, just be cautious, because this is a very valid pattern before dropping, just like what I just showed you on Wi-Fi, right? YFII, right? So keep that in mind, right? Bearish, but I would love to see it below 54 first. Okay, next support 55. Okay, if we get a big red candle down below 54, you're gonna be very confident and just put a stop loss above the daily open, and then you could be riding it all the way down to some crazy number. So SXP, I love SXP also. We already hit our target, right? I showed you SXP 89.91, drop all the way down to 77, pump back up to 88. It is still dropping, very, very bearish, just like SNX, right? Same type of a descending triangular formation. It's not going to drop 10%, okay? It's not just going to drop 10%. Still got some lower numbers to go to. Has to retest. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. Did we talk about Bitcoin Cash? Let's go back to the bees. No. So Bitcoin Cash, it is holding very strong, right? But it doesn't mean much, right? It is moving in a, you know, flat, you know, a extended flat correction, A, B, C correction right there, with the C wave being 5 wave. Just have to wait, just like Link, to break this trend line. But if you're bearish on Bitcoin Cash, just be bearish. Don't wait, because Bitcoin Cash, when it drops, it doesn't say hello, it just drop one go. So that's the thing. You might be waiting for it to break below 255 and all of that good stuff, right? But right, it's not gonna do it like in 2 or 3 days and all of that. You know, it's just gonna whip down, just like that right here, okay, and right here, right? So it is bearish, right? You could wait, but to me it is bearish. Okay, yeah. We would at least look for a pullback to 50%, right? Right there, which is like 236 at least, right? But the bear's got to confirm it, right? Let's try to get, try to break the daily 21 EMA, which is like 257 first, right? And we could be looking for lower numbers after that. But just to keep it very short, right? Just look for this range. First support area, just like Zcash, right? I think Zcash or Dash, we talk about it, right? So Uniswap is dumping. So if you're bullish on Uniswap, one thing I can just tell you guys, the 9 to 5 rule, okay? 95 rule, 95, not 9 to 5, 95, right? is like the general rule, right? Is like most of these new alt, they're gonna drop 90 to 95%, right? Most of them, not all of them, but most of them, they're gonna drop possibly 90 to 95, right? So Uniswap just pop out, right? I'm not saying it cannot pump back up, right, to like $5 and so on, but I'm saying the bottom could be somewhere around like 95 to 90 to 95 from the top, right? You're looking at like 50 cents, right? 40, basically 40 cents to basically right there, 80 cents, 40 to 80 cents, right? So just gotta keep that in mind. So if you're not long enough, if you haven't been long enough in crypto, like you just come in and join the crypto space like 2019, 2020, remember this rule gonna matter a lot, even like after the next bull market. You gotta remember, after we drop 90 to 95%, some of them gonna drop 99.99, then that's going to be time to be accumulating, right? So let's just keep that in mind, right? It's gonna drop much lower. I said it with compound. When compound was like $300, most people been FOMOing, oh, we're gonna go to like $1,000 and all of that. I was like, this sucker gonna drop down to like 35, right? So which is like 90 to 95 range, right? 95% range. Right now it is just about like 80, right? So it has another 60% drop to go. So we talk about VET, right? But VChain, talk about VET BTC, not VChain. So VChain USD, we gotta be able to break this trend line support right there, and after that we're gonna be looking for just about like right there, just about like 82. Right now it's just about like 1, so we're gonna be looking for another 18% drop right there if we break this support area right there. So, and VChain BTC is extremely bearish, so no need to basically be bullish on VChain USD unless BTC is gonna be pumping like a lot, right? That's the only way you could be bullish on VChain USD, because VChain BTC is bearish, right? VChain USD is bearish also, right? The only way VChain could survive, right, and move sideways and not drop a lot is like BTC pumps a lot, right? BTC pumps a lot. So TRB, I showed you TRB before the drop. So that was a beautiful setup also in our premium, right, for Azaz, right? His name Azaz. So this sucker was like 28, right? And what we said was like it is kind of aggressive to go long right now. However, if we break above like 30.5, we could go long all the way up to 36 to 40, right? So, and I was like, the bearish setup is like, do not trade in between like 24 to 25. Wait till we break it to look for a short position, right, below 24, and below this trend line going to be a very strong level to be entering. And you can see that we broke it, pumped back up, got rejected by the 6-hour/8-hour 21 EMA, dropped all the way down to 18. We already hit 18 because 18 was the target, right? Hit like 1870, pump back up like 22. Now we're going to be dropping much lower. Okay, that's a 20% pump. So on a downtrend, it means like it could drop more than 20% later on, because the correction alone is 20%, right? So the correction alone is 20%. So if we're going to be dropping, we're not going to drop 20%. We're most likely going to be dropping like 30 to 40%, right? So, but one thing you just have to be cautious about is like this move right there. Okay, always be cautious with a flat correction. It always gonna suck you up. I suck you, basically mess you up. Okay, Tron, we haven't talked about Tron for a very long time. Tron chart is very choppy, but it is still bearish. So it is not easy to trade Tron with these wicks to the upside. That's why I haven't been trading it, because it is very choppy, right? We're still moving like in a triangular formation, and would look for a breakout below this range, a complete breakout below, like below 2450, and we could be looking for a further number down, right? But as of now, it is still bearish, nothing bullish so far, right? No sign of reversal yet. But if the bulls defend this area of 24, right, 24 to 25 range, you know, we could possibly start to look for reversal, right? But the market is pretty bearish, so we might not be able to find a very good support. Uniswap, we already talked about Uni. So XLM, this sucker basically got us. So that's what I was trying to tell you earlier, right? If you put a stop loss too close, right, you might be disappointed, because we were looking for a short right there. We shorted just about like 83 to 85, but I was putting my stop loss just about like 87.20. The sucker pumped like to 87.50 and then drop all the way back down to my target. And I was looking for a nice juicy, basically 12% to 8 to 12% drop. We did get the drop. It's just like I was just being too cautious, right? But you know, it is what it is, right? So, but we got next temporary support for XLM is just about this range of 66, and then we're going to be looking for 56 after that. So Monero, I think Dog is. So let's take a look at Monero BTC first, because Monero BTC, it moves very slow, right? It moves very slow, but Monero BTC, if you guys remember back in June, that was one of our target, right? One of our top pick, because we said we're going to be looking for like June 2019 prices, and Monero was just by this area, 0.007, like first week of June, right there. First week of June, that's when we picked it, and then we were looking for this move. Yes, it took like 4 months, but it, you know, the goal is like to hit target, not like to hit it like in an hour or something like that, right? Or a day or whatever. The goal is just to hit target. So we pump back to this level, so it is time to be bearish again. I'm looking for a retest of 64 to 61 again, right? But we got multiple temporary support, 91, right? We already broke it, right? And we're going to be looking for 80 next one, right? Which is like 0.618. So now let's take a look at Monero USDT. Monero USDT, it is moving very slow. It is not that volatile, right? So what I'm looking for Monero USD is like two possible setups, right? I'm looking for two possible setups. The first one is, it is like we could get this flat correction, right? And after that, we could get another internal flat correction right there, right? Just like that, before we drop, right? Which is like this yellow flat correction you're seeing at the bottom, right? Unless like the move is impulsive, and you know, you don't have to worry about being worried about like a double bottom probably kicking your stop loss and all of that, right? So that's the first setup. The next one I'm looking for, it is just like a continuation, right? We're not gonna do that. The small correction we got right now, right here, could be enough. Could be enough, right? And then we're going to be looking for a drop. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for from Monero. So either way you look at it, all right, we're going to be looking for a break below 120 to 119, and then we're going to be looking for lower numbers, right? So, but if you're bullish, right, you could be looking for right there, 0.618 to 0.786 pullback, which is like 130 to 130, basically 35 for take profits. because most likely the bear is going to be striking again, right? 135, 137 again. So if you're bullish, right, you know, you got to be able to take profits. But I would wait, you know, to short below 120, right? But if you bearish also, that's the next level you want to be shorting. But shorting right now might give you a tough time, right? You might be sitting on it like this, like that, and all of that, and you don't want to do that, right? Yeah. So target to the downside going to be 88 to 91, temporary target, right? So let's take a look at Tezos. So Tezos and Algo look similar. We already broke support area, you know, got a nice, parallel channel, breaking it right now. So we're going to be looking for 0.786, which is, I mean, actually 0.618, which is like 170. So which is basically not too far away for Tezos. The BTC got a, pumping back up, looking to retest the top. Yep. Let's take a look at the hourly. And now the Bitstamp doesn't have a lot of volume, so I mean, the volume is not that sustainable. I know on the let's take a look at it on Bitstamp. Even on a higher time frame, like I mean, on Coinbase, it is quite a lot though. Yeah, it is quite a lot. Yeah, only on Bitstamp, right? The volume on Bitstamp, is not a lot. That's when we got a that's when we can find a decreasing volume on the high time frame. Even like the big move we got last year, right? The volume was increasing. Right? So that was a nice volume. The bull run time, when we were pumping to like a 20k, you can see volume was increasing. But this time that's not the case, right? It could shift, okay? It could shift like this, right? Later on, we just don't know, right? It could shift like this, and if that's the case, that could be a bull run confirmation, right? Let's say we got a very big volume, right here, hopefully red, but let's say it's green, right? And then we get another one right there and another one right there. That could be a bull run confirmation, right? So something like this, right? Okay, we could get something like this over the next few weeks, right? So as I said, volume doesn't move like linearly. Every single candle going to be higher than the previous one. It doesn't have to be that way. Even this candle could be red, right? Just like the third candle, the second candle right there could be a small red, but your trend line, you're still gonna draw it. You're still gonna draw it like this, okay? It's kind of like when you get a descending triangle, right? You dump and you pump, you dump, right? You draw your triangle like this, right? Right? That's how you're gonna draw your triangle, right? You're gonna say that's a descending triangle, right? But ugly one, but you get the concept, right? So, but you still got some like lower prices in between, right? But you do not say, you don't draw your triangle like that, right? You just get the rejections. So same thing with the volume, you just get the rejection. You don't worry about like these lower volume in between. Is BTC going to 20k and 40% correction? Let's see. I mean, it doesn't have much of a resistance above 14k, so maybe it is time to be shopping for alt, not time to be buying heavily, right? But it is time to start looking to buy some alt, right? Till basically December, January. And you could look for another alt season somewhere around like February, March. Because the alt, they're dropping both versus BTC, and they're dropping both versus BTC and the US dollar. So, back in 2019, they were just dropping versus BTC, but not versus the dollar. BTC was just going faster, but they were still going up. But this time, you take a look at NEO from like 22, 25, all the way down to $14, right? And BTC pumped from 10 to 14. Right, that's not good. Yeah, basically the next 45 days, next 40 days going to be very, very crucial. 40 to 45 days, because this candle going to close like, you know, December 16. So I just don't know, guys, like, you know, if the bear is going to be strong enough to reject the price right now, right? But let's see. Yeah, Tron is at the moment Tron is not a buy, man. That's my opinion. You can buy, okay, you can pump, but according to what I see, right, and what I've been seeing on Tron, I was bullish on Tron at 200 sats before it pumped to like 350, something like that, right? But as of now, looking at Tron, BTC, you can see like on a 50-day basis, even on a 50-day chart, it looks like it most likely gonna retrace down to like, you know, below 150 right there within the next 50 days, right? And after that, the next support is like almost 50 sats. That's not good at all, man. Right there, that's the next support area if we break this, you know, 133 sats. So that's why, you know, the macro scale is very, very important. So if you just pay attention to the hourly and you see like this 15-20% pump, you might be thinking like we're in a bull run, but we're not. At least for outright. And take a look at Tron, we could be playing this descending triangle on the macro scale. You only can see this type of a you know, structure on the macro view. But if you try to do it on the, even on the daily, you're gonna get so much noise, you're not gonna be able to see it. You're gonna get all these corrections, right? You can see this is only a correction. Okay. Not saying it's gonna drop, but I'm just trying to show you, like, you know, like what you know, if you do it on a macro scale, it looks very, very clean. It looks very clean, right? Let's remove this. Yeah, it looks very, very clean. Like Tron gonna be dropping much lower. Okay, you just don't want to break like 150, guys. If you break it, you got another 50% drop after that. The total market, total 2 or total 1? I don't see a bearish divergence on total 2. You must be talking about total 1. Yeah, I don't like this big wick to the upside. See, I can't find total 1. Yeah, total 1. Yeah, we don't have any divergence, man. In order to get a divergence, you want to get a crossover, a bearish crossover first, right? And you're going to talk about a divergence. That way you're going to be looking for this move, right? And but I think like this week was like a fake out, so it might be just a glitch. So but right there, and it's kind of crazy, right? Because you take a look at the total one, right? The total market cap right now we are 400 billion, right? And all-time high is just about like 750 billion, right? So that's another basically 80% pump, right? But who's gonna pump 80%? Is it going to be BTC, or it is going to be like BTC and alt? Because alt are not looking to pump 80%. Alt total market cap, right? At the moment they're not looking to pump 80%, right? So they're not even looking to pump like 50-60%, right? So it means, right, the only thing bullish is BTC. So does it mean BTC gonna be pumping like, you know, pumping like 80%, right? Not 80%, but basically making the total market cap pump 60%, which is another basically we at 400 billion, we're looking for almost 800 billion, another 200 billion, right? And let's take a look at BTC market cap is just about what? So we need another 200 billion to basically hit all-time high, right? So BTC is just about 250 billion. So it means BTC gonna pump just about like, you know, 60 to 70%, right? If we're gonna go back up to all-time high, right? So kind of crazy, but so 250 to 450, that's another 90% pump. So it means basically gonna pump, like, guys, it's gonna pump above 20k if we're gonna be going all the way back up to 800 billion, right? Because alt, once again, the reason why I'm saying it, none of these alt are looking to pump like that much. So only BTC is looking to pump that much. So another 200 billion market cap. So another possible scenario is like alt keep depleting, like, you know, dropping 50%, like from like 140 to 70 billion. That's also possible. And then that money flows into BTC. That's also possible, right? You could look at it like that, because most alt are looking to drop anyway 40 to 50%, right? So, and BTC is looking to pump. So, but either way you look at it, it is going to be very, very crucial over the next few weeks. So if you take a look at Zilliqa on the bigger picture, which is like the 3 weeks the 3 weeks chart, you can see like we just breaking like 0.618. So not good at all. So that confirmed our analysis. You know, it could be retracing all the way back down to like 80 to 80 to 105 and so on, right? 81 to 105. I mean, like I said, it could affect BTC, right? It could definitely affect BTC if the stock market crashes like next week, especially Monday, right? A 20% crash going to basically dump the market also. Like that's the same thing we got back in like February. I don't know if you guys noticed, like alt top out like February 12, right? And we crashed like March 13th, almost 30 days later. So, and alt been dumping like since August 16th. It's almost like over 2 months. It's over 2 months, right? But we haven't seen a BTC crash yet, right? So yeah. Yeah, you take a look at compound. It is pretty clean for an hour. We're looking for this drop. It picked right there. Yep, August, that's when we got the double top right there, mid-August. Actually late August, but most alt they got their double top like, right there, August 12, August 16, but this sucker decided to pump back up. But most of these alt did not basically break August 12 high. It is very, very important, right, to basically keep that in mind. So as of now, this was just a correction, so we got another small correction, could be dipping much lower, guys. So yeah, alt looking very bad. Yeah, dot BTC, dot USD going to be a good trade to pay attention to over the next few days if we get a breakout, right? So we already talk about it. Let's go back to BTC. The sucker don't want to drop, man. So BNB looks pretty much like BTC, so it is, I mean, it is holding very, very strong one thing you can do, you could, if you're very aggressive, right, you could look for a closing basis trend line. What I mean by closing basis, mean like these, you take the previous close right there, just about like $5.50, and the close at $11, you join them, right, and you look for this move. And if we drop down, you could be looking for a target at $18 and so on. But if you're very moderate, right, you got another trend line right there, right, which is, change it, somewhere around here. Okay, we just draw your trend line, and you basically look for a possible either first target right there or second target just about like $7 to $8 range, right, or even below, right. All right, so if you want to take this one, you're also going to be fine. But that's the best way to do it as of now. Short-term target, gonna be able to pay, you gotta pay attention to your EMAs on the lower degree daily if you basically like to trade on the daily and all of that good stuff. We're already breaking the daily 200 EMA. Temporary support going to be your daily 100 EMA, which is just about like 25, right? But these targets are just short term, right? So looking for 10%, 8% to 10% drop. So take a look at 8 hour. So we're already in a bear flag right there. So break below 27.4 gonna take us all the way down, right, to basically to the daily 100 EMA, just about 25.7, 25.4, right? So but we got a nice confirmation right there. I just don't like, sometimes we have to be careful also with these undecided candle with a small volume. Sometimes market tends to reverse on these undecided candle. We want to see a full body candle, but the volume is low, so let's just take advantage of it and say we're going to be dropping right there, right? But don't be surprised if it pumps to like a 29.5 for a possible rejection, right? If you're bullish, wait for a big breakout above right there, just about 31, and you could be looking for 1.41 to 1.27 extension, which is swing high to swing low, and then you could be looking for like $40 to basically 37, but you got to be able to break above basically 32, right, to almost like 34, right? And you could be looking for 37 to $40 and higher. It's pretty easy. You don't have to do anything. You just wait for confirmation and then you execute the trade. That's it. Whether you're bullish or bearish, you got both setups. So I'm talking about BTC on the daily or the total one. Total on the RSI has a small divergence right there, but remember, divergence is right. They're not telling you if you're going to drop or not. They're only telling you market is looking weak, right? So you can get a divergence, right? Because divergence doesn't care about your highs and all of that good stuff, right? Because it is based on closing basis, right? The RSI and MACD. So it can pump to the upside, and your RSI still going to be dropping because it can pump to the upside but closes below like 420 billion. Right, let's say we pump to 500 billion but do not close, let's say, above like 400 billion. Your RSI won't care. That's why you get divergences, right? So you got to remember that. It is very important to understand how these stuff sometimes works, right? So you can basically make a fair judgment. So ball is hitting target just about 9.4 to 11.1. It is one of the most bearish alt. It tends to give you like it tends to lead the way on the downside, right? Even on the upside. So looking at balancer dropping, it is telling me like Alt going to be dropping much lower too, right? Balancer and CRV, both of them, they lead the way to the downside, and B0X. So IOTA BTC, I don't think we talked about IOTA BTC, but it is also breaking support, which is very, very, very bad, right? Very, very bad. They retested support right there, now breaking it. So not good at all. OMG BTC, I was looking at OMG BTC and waves BTC. Only waves are actually holding very strong right now, but the rest are just, I was, that's not a pump, man. You gotta, that's not a pump. So OMG BTC already got a setup. I mean, that's cute. So that's not a pump, right? So OMG BTC, we got a long way to go, right? So next support level, it is going to be right there, right? Just about like 14,000 to 15,000, right? We basically hit the trend line right there. That's why it is basically looking like a pump. So most people love to trade trend lines. So if they see a trend line right there, they're going to be buying, right? But they're going to forget about the entire structure of the crypto space. It's like Alt are looking to dip lower. So you could wait till we break below like 20,000, another 10% dump, and then you could look for further move to the downside, right? Because OMG USD is not that bullish, right? So, okay. OMG BTC is not bullish, okay? It is not bullish. It is just like Zilliqa, same type of structure. A descending triangle right there. You broke it. It's just going to pump to retest the trend line. Probably going to get rejected somewhere around like 3.1, 3.2. That's it. If not, you got a blue trend line right there going to basically intercept the price right there, depending on how you want to draw it, right? So right there. So let's see. It is a 14% pump. You take a look at DOT. DOT gave us a same type of pump, but it is still bearish. Take a look at DOT USD. We got like 10% pump, but it is still bearish, right? So okay, it just pumped back up to get rejected, by the year 21 EMA. Oh, you're looking at 30 minutes. Oh gosh. All right. At least you're not looking at the 1 minute chart. So let's see if Alt going to be reversing. So all right, guys, I'm just going to call it a night. So make sure to join our public Telegram group, link in the description, and we guys talk later on in our basically public Telegram group. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to hit the likes and basically enjoy the BTC volatility next week.